Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jade Monkey. We're back here in Rust, and today we're talking about the Rust beta progress for the second week of June. And it's been a weird week, for sure. There's been some... Well, I mean, we'll go over the changes. We'll let you know. But basically, this is our weekly update on the progress on the beta that's coming to the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, which we are extremely excited for, and try to give you guys, you know, that... I don't know, it's not cutting edge, but recent information so we can maybe know when this thing's coming down the pipe, you know what I mean? So we will main this on console, PlayStation 4 and Xbox, although with crossplay being a thing just between PlayStation 4 and Xbox, you know, it won't really matter what platform you're on because we'll all get to play together. And if you want to know more information, excuse me, about the crossplay, I made a video on that. I'll go ahead and link that now in the upper right-hand corner. And there's just been so many cool changes and like additions to the game. So we'll be going over not only the progress for the beta, but also progress for the main core game that's currently in Live Branch on PC. And why that's important is because all those things are coming to us in Vanilla Rust. By the way, speaking of Vanilla Rust, everything you see here is 100% vanilla. From the companion app we're using to open and close these doors, and turn off these lights. I'm doing this from my phone, by the way. Pretty crazy. To raid protection, which is part of the companion app, and that's like a little build that we did. As a matter of fact, I think this is the set for it. I'll go ahead and link the offline raid protection right now in the upper right-hand corner. And you can check that out now. So if you're anxiously waiting, and the waiting hurts, because believe me, it does, this will help you get a leg up on things like offline raid protection. It's basically an alarm that will detect when people destroy your walls on your base, which is crazy. Let me just show you real quick, and this is you'll get a message like this on your phone. Yeah, that's like the best. Are you kidding me? That's like the coolest thing ever. I mean, tell me you didn't want an alarm going off in any one of the other games that you've played that are open world survival. So that is super awesome, and it's a fairly easy build that we put together, and you can use that in the beta when that comes out, and on the full release as well. So yes, all right, so going over some of the changes here, which have been very odd this past June, and I know there's been a lot of chatter around it, so we're going to go ahead and try to dissect it the best we can. I'm going to walk over here, because I think I'll be safe. I should be safe. And let's go ahead and tab over and take a look. Okay, so one of the major things that we've seen, I'm trying to think of the best way we can do this. Okay, so the commit list is just as like a real quick summary. It's Facepunch makes the game, and 11 is the studio that's doing the port for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. So this is on Facepunch's website, and they have this commit list, and it's basically a log of all the things that they've done. And you'll see these things like this. For lack of a better term, I'll call them encrypted, even though they're not technically encrypted. They're just, it's all dummy text. But just so you know, that's what that is. But when they have these things up here, it is telling, because we're seeing these things, and we know that there's something that they don't necessarily want public. And yeah, you could also surmise that that could also mean that you know, things in the console department are getting close, which would be ideal, right? Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of this, and typically we see a lot of movement on this list for the entire week. And we've basically, we haven't had an update in almost a week. I think it's yeah, in most cases it's been a week. And anything that we saw last week was primarily this dummy text, or this encrypted text, which, I mean, it can mean a lot of different things. So I'm under the strong impression that this is coming sometime in July, best case scenario, but I don't know. And you know, we're speculating now based off the information that we're seeing off this commit list. And a lot of people have been asking me in my community, they're saying, hey, what do these things mean? And the fact that they haven't posted in a week, what does that mean? And it could mean a couple different things, right? So the one that makes the most sense is that they're working on a larger commit, and the whole team is working on it, and it's a big deal, and they just haven't had any progress, and they haven't had to submit, because basically the commit list is a build commit list, or a log, if that makes sense. And it's a journey, it's a pathway, more or less, and more like simplistic terms. So it's possible they're working on a bigger build. What does that mean? It could be just that, a bigger build, and they still have some ways to go in the beta. It could mean that they're actually internally testing more of the current build, possibly for release? I don't know, but it is a good sign either way you cut it. So if it's scenario 1 or 2, it's still really good news. And as we know, I mean, this thing is creeping up so quick. And, okay, so we know the release is going to be latest the last day in the year, right? 2020. And I don't think it's going to be that date, right? So, like, let's just assume the release for the game is somewhere, I don't know, like in December. And I don't know, right? And I don't think it will be, but, I mean, who knows? But, like, let's say worst case scenario, it's like sometime in December. Even if that's the case, we still have a beta to do, and there's usually a month or two after the beta. So, like, if we're sitting at, what, June, which is, yeah, that's halfway through the year. I mean, and you're going to have the beta sit in between there, between full release, right? So, like, either way you cut it, we are fast approaching this. And since we're seeing a lot of indicators here that are showing different types of movement, different types of, maybe like a pattern change, it is a good sign. Do I think it means it's coming out next week? I don't think so. But again, I hope I'm wrong. I hope this thing comes out like tomorrow, and I hope they spring it on us and we're all playing the beta and just having like the best time in the world. Like, that's what I truly, truly hope. And again, I've been waiting for this for like, what, 7 years or something like that, ever since it came out. So, like, we want to main this so bad on console. So we're looking over this every day. So we already know that they're doing internal testing. If you didn't know, I mean, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably know. But they've been doing internal testing, so there's actually a closed beta that's currently happening. I'm sure it's happening on the PS4 side, but we just had access to the store on the Xbox side, so we can see that. So basically what that means is, if you see any information off the PS4 or Xbox, it's good news for both platforms, because we're going to get it at the same time. Like, there's no exclusivity there. At least as far as we know. So that's good news. Okay, so let me go back to this. Okay, so I'm under the strong impression also that the things that are in the live branch of this game currently will also be in the beta. There's a possibility that they're not, but with that in mind, and here's why I say this. So we have things like the car beta. If you've been watching me live stream and stuff from the PC, we checked out the modular vehicles, which were freaking awesome, and they should be coming on the set. Let me just check. I think it's the 2nd of July. Yeah, 2nd of July. And when they come into the main branch, why we should care about that is that's just the next step for us to have it here on the list. So, and typically we would see these changes on the list, but if we're getting closer to the beta, maybe that's what this dummy text is. Maybe that's what they're covering up. We don't know. There's no strong indicators of that yet, but there's also no strong indicators to say that it's not. Does that make sense? So, yeah, so the reason why we're following the PC changes, well, A, it's awesome, right? Like, it's been super cool. And B, I think it's going to be a strong indicator as to how close we're getting to this beta, which, I mean, come on, I'm dying. This, man, it hurts every day, man. Every day we, like, don't have it, but at the same token, I mean, we're still one day closer to this thing coming out, right? So, okay, let me go over some of the other changes I saw here that I thought were worth a note, since we don't have any major changes on the big list. But we saw some changes on the other stuff. So we have these other changes here, and again, this is the encrypted text, dummy text. Oh, I should also put out there, I guess there's some rumor going around saying that somebody can decrypt these. I can tell you right now, that's a bold-faced lie, whatever they're telling you, because this text always stays in as dummy text. It's never encrypted, because if it were, I would have already flipped it. You know what I mean? Like, I would have already been like, hey, this is what this means. So anybody that's giving you the promise to decrypt this is just straight up lying to you, which is unfortunate that that's a thing, but I guess. Here's another interesting thing. We saw the Rust companion server also have this dummy text, or this shadowed text, right? So, you know, also more signs pointing to the fact that this could very well be happening soon. Again, I'm under the strong impression that this is going to happen sometime in July. I could be wrong, right? Like, it could be after that, it could be before that, but I mean, as we see more data here, I think we'll have a better idea. All right, so over on the car side, and yeah, to just jump into something, because this kind of points towards us again, and it's also exciting because anything you see here is most definitely coming to the vanilla Rust for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. And this came off of Shadowfrax's video too, and it's just cool to like see it in the commit list here. And if you don't know who Shadowfrax is, he does a lot of update videos. He's a cool guy. I mean, I don't know him personally. I know of him, but I've been watching this stuff for a long time. He's a good dude. He's a good creator. You should check him out. It's Shadowfrax, F-A-R-X. So check it out. I think there's no space in that. It's over on YouTube. But anyways, he was talking about car keys, and I thought that was cool. One of the major things we ran into during the Rust car beta, not to be confused with the PlayStation 4 beta, was thievery of cars can still be a thing with keys, but we didn't have any keys, and we found that thievery and having all of the parts, which are many, made it rather difficult, because you basically would have to pop all your parts out to make sure nobody could gank them, which is awesome that that's a thing, but it's just cool. So apparently we can lock up loot and the items, and it'll be something that we try to really test. We'll try to go over to the staging branch over on the PC and let you guys know what that looks like. Because again, all of this is just a precursor to us getting this on console, PlayStation 4 and Xbox, so get ready. And also an indicator for when this bad boy's coming. Okay, and this is a lot of car stuff here, which I'm very excited for. Again, should be coming in the July update, which is the 2nd. Steering and damage adjustments, that's cool for the vehicle. Force adjustments, again, for the vehicular. Final collision adjustments, and again, it looks like polish on these things, and they're right on track. Like, they're exactly where they said they would be. They said they were going to merge this with the main branch in the July update, and all signs are pointing towards that, which is beautiful. Then we have, oh, I just said that. They finally merged this separate branch into the main build, which basically means it's coming down the pipe to the live branch, and these are no longer a fork in the road, which is great. Just moving along, so basically reiterating what I just said. These are cool too, just to see some of the physics changes and maybe a precursor to what's coming down the pipeline again. Just interesting to see that they've done a pass on those, and I strongly believe that the pass on these is not only a performance update for us on PC, but maybe for the console. You know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of these changes look like that, because I know Gary actually said on his Twitter, one of the major things that they have to overcome are performance issues, and I'm seeing a lot of changes that match up with that, so I don't think Gary was kidding. I mean, he'd have no reason to, but that just tracks with that, and these are all things that would help. And I know they're trying to revamp and get some polish on these things, not only for that PC version, but for that juicy console version. Okay, and then this last one is, I can't say this because Susan will bust me, but the conditional walls and such. If you can, I'll show you. Yeah, I did a video on this already. What am I saying? These corners and stuff have gotten a nice change, and again, these should be in the beta for us, or at the very least in the full release. But you see these corners? Apparently, they're working on conditional corners. I guess they're experimenting with it for rooftops, which are cool. So that's good to know that that's in the pipeline. So yeah, I think with all these things really pointing to and coming to, they're always adding to this game, but the fact that a lot of these big things are coming to a point around June, late June, July, really let us know that things are coming. And if you look at the master timeline, I mean, it's got to happen soon, right? Unless, I mean, knock on wood. I don't have any wood around me, but knock on wood, you know, pending anything crazy happening, we're still on track. So this thing has got to be close just by process of elimination. Am I right? So yeah, it's exciting, and we'll keep trying to drop some videos for you guys to keep you guys up to speed, to help ease the pain of waiting and get you guys ready to go, so you're ready to hit the ground running for when this thing drops. I also have a Rust videos playlist that has a lot of goodies in there. It has some gameplay from official servers, because that's what we'll be playing on the Rust beta and on official, or on the full release on official. So, and then also some nice tutorials there to help get you guys going, to help you understand things like raid protection, building, raiding, things in general that are big questions when you start this game that'll really help you get a leg up on all the other scrubs that'll be spawning on the beach. So anyways, sorry this one was a bit skimpy as far as like major breakthroughs, but I mean, we're at the mercy of the commit list, but we'll keep you guys abreast of the situation. And an excellent reason to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on those notifications, which is the bell, I guess, and then make sure it says all if that's something you're into. If it's not, that's fine too. And yeah, we'll be doing a lot of open world survival, things like Rust, obviously, in the meantime, until we can actually play it on the console. And we're still playing DayZ over on Xbox and stuff, so you know, if you want to come by and check us getting clapped and trying to stack loot, you can check that out too. And hopefully we see you guys in the next video / live stream. Okay, I love you. Bye!